Okay, so here's your weekly Bitcoin breakdown with the Wealth Doctor. So let's just jump right into this. Here's the levels that I'm looking at. So I try to be a little more simple with my chart as compared to last week to this week. And what I'm looking at is this trend line right here. Right now, Bitcoin has respected this trend line. We've had a total of 3 different touches on this trend line. And I want you to hone in on this trend line for one reason, and I'll tell you why. So right now what we have going on is what's called a head and shoulders pattern. We have a shoulder right here. We have a head coming in here, and potentially another shoulder that could be placed here. That is a bearish pattern for technical analysis. Again, this is more of a technical analysis breakdown for us. So Bitcoin's respect to this trend line, every time it's hit this trend line, we've had an impulse move higher up. So right now, Bitcoin's on this trend line, hovering right around the 200 simple moving average. So what am I trying to see? Is it possible we get an impulse move up to about 52, 53K? And then that's what I want to see broken. Because again, this 53K level is the high of our left shoulder. So we want to see the high of our right shoulder at least start to break the high of the left shoulder. I mean, ultimately, to negate this head and shoulders pattern, we need to hit a higher high. It's the only way we can negate this entire pattern. Otherwise, this yellow trend line down here is called the neckline. So it's the neckline where the shoulder, the head, and the shoulder meets. If this neckline breaks, we have downside target down to about 31 to 30K. Probably get an immediate drop to about close to 40K. But however, we would see massive move to the downside. It's something that we don't want to see. We don't want to see this trend line broken. So this trend line is utter important over the course of the next couple of weeks into 2022 to see what happens. So on the daily chart, let's look at our indicators. Our MACD looks like it crossed bullish, so it gives a chance. We have a MACD is close down to 3,000. Last time this MACD was semi-close, we had this is where we crossed and went from 30,000 to about 68,000 on this MACD cross. There's a potential we might get a nice impulse move up again. So I'm expecting some sort of bounce here. I'm expecting to sort of bounce about 52, 53K in the short term. So get our RSI. So our RSI is look like it's wanting to break out from this falling wedge. That's a good sign. And our stochastic looks like it wants to cross bullish over here. So looking for this blue line to go above the red line, and that would be a bullish cross on there. So let's go short term. This is longer term. Again, this is playing out over the next couple weeks, possibly through month. That's what we're looking at here. Let's go short term, what I'm looking for. So we'll jump into a 4-hour chart, and I'm looking for Bitcoin in a falling wedge. This is definitely a pattern that's happening. We have 4 touches on the top trend line. We have 3 touches on the bottom trend line. I'm looking at the 618 level. So right now, for shorter term support, we could trend in this pattern and possibly hit some sort of bottom right through here and touch on the 618, which is 44,359. So it's possible we could form a bottom here, which is potential for Bitcoin in the short. Again, this is more shorter term. This is like the week coming up. This is more when I'm looking at the week coming up. Falling wedge patterns tend to break out bullish, means they tend to break out to the upside 68% of the time. That's kind of what I'm looking for. But right now, Bitcoin will continue this trend pattern until it doesn't. So remember, the trend is your friend to the end. So short term, we're looking at a potential bottom around 44,400. That would be our 618 level. And then we're looking for probably a short-term pop up to about 52, 53K. And those are the levels that I see Bitcoin kind of trading in the weeks coming up. Again, we want to see Bitcoin break above 53K and hold, and eventually make a run to all-time highs. But however, we have to go based off the charts, not based off of what YouTube and everyone else is talking to about. So I hope you enjoy this weekly Bitcoin breakdown with the Wealth Doctor.